Hey there. My last video was about the DNA of the church, and I realized I probably should backtrack and kind of explain what the DNA of the church, what I mean by the DNA of the church. I said last time that it's really hard to change the direction of the DNA of the church. And as I talked with Benjamin and we discussed this last time via Skype, he asked me to do a video. So there was a few questions on what that is. And what I mean by the DNA of the church is it's just its general makeup, how the church is structured, just like the DNA in our bodies. The DNA of our bodies is the building blocks of life. It's in every cell. It forms us. It makes us who we are. Makes us grow lots of gray hair, as you see. It makes us big ears, small ears, big nose. All this stuff that makes up our bodies, our life, is found in our DNA. So same with the church. From the inception of the church, from how it was planted, denominationally it could be, from the reason it was planted, maybe hundreds of years ago, current churches that are being planted now. Some churches are reactions to other churches, denominational affiliations, Baptist, Lutheran, the makeup of who you are, your modality defines a lot within DNA. So what I mean by modality is just the modes you take in worship, not your theology, but do you do contemporary worship? Do you do a blended service? Does your preacher wear a suit vest? Does he wear a coat and tie? Does he wear a t-shirt? Modality, these type of things. Do you do a full band or do you have a choir? The modes you take in doing ministry is modality. That's your DNA. Your church government, the type of structure you have within your church government. Are you elder driven? Are you pastor led? Are you deacon led? Are you congregational? I mean, all these type of things define your DNA. And as a regular churchgoer, you might not realize your church has a DNA, but it does. It has all kind of stuff to define who you are. Your structure, your ethnicity plays a part in this. In America, the most segregated day of the week is on Sunday. Black church, white church, power style, power structure. Is your power structure in the men of the church, in the women of the church, in the elders, in the pastors, in the staff? Where is the power structure in your church? Stylistically, talked about that a little bit already. Stylistically, what kind of church are you? Are you a relaxed church? Do your people have tattoos and dreadlocks and piercings? Do they wear suits and ties? Is it somewhere in between? What is the DNA, the style of your church? That it defines a lot and will define a lot of, are you able to change the DNA? My experience is the high church structure has a real difficult time of changing to a contemporary modality or something else like that. These type of things define who you are as a DNA. And DNA defines what you're going to be as well. So will you continue to stay high church, Lutheran, denominational affiliations, Baptist, these type of things? They define who you are, and they're going to define what you will be as well. So if you're desiring to change your DNA, no, it's a difficult road. I said before, it's a hard ship to steer into a different DNA. DNA hardly change of churches. And that's not a bad thing. But sometimes you're desiring to go in a new direction with your church. But if it's a 100-year-old church, that could be a difficult ship to steer. If it's a 500-year-old church, that could be a difficult ship to steer. And so that's why church planning is so important, because new moves are needed and necessary when there's new moves of God. New forms are necessary when there's new moves of God. It's new wine skin for the new wine that God is pouring out by His Spirit. So I was driving the other day, taking my daughter somewhere, and she's sitting way in the back of the van, and she said, "Daddy, where is Jesus Church?" I thought for a second. I said, "Indeed, Jesus Church is everywhere. It's all over the world. Here in America, it's in Germany, it's in China, it's in Pakistan, it's everywhere. A lot of different countries have Jesus Church. And she said, oh. I said, Didi, why did you ask that question? And she said, because I love Jesus. I'm like, duh. I said, that's awesome, Didi. That's right. You love Jesus, so you love Jesus Church. But you know that some people in the world have never heard of Jesus. So we need to go and take Jesus Church to them. And she said, that's right, Daddy. So that they can have Jesus in their heart too, right? I said, yeah, that's right. And she said, that's fair. And I just realized a 3-year-old has a great sense of justice. It's fair. It's only fair that we take the message of Jesus Christ to the world. And if you want to change your church into a missional DNA, you have to be out there and going. And you can do that. You can do that. But it's a hard ship to steer sometimes. So you people who want to change the DNA of your church, be patient. Be patient. If you can't be patient, maybe you should be a church planner. Maybe you should go and start something new and have a new modality, the fresh start, a fresh work of God. Maybe you can do that. Maybe God's calling you to that. But that's the DNA of the church. Thanks for listening. See you next time.